You might be asking, is my home already ideal for my home-based business venture?
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We've created for you free access to over 403 Inside Track Real Estate episodes on YouTube, the Dekker Team channel. So go there, subscribe. You'll be able to see what we've got. And really, these shows provide insight into real estate, almost insider trading that's legal. And we help you turn your house into a home, help you build wealth, help you simply have a whole life. So you can get exactly what you need when you need it from the comfort of your home, your car. Well, if you're driving, don't watch YouTube. Or from your office. So is my home already ideal? That's something that a client may ask us. And sometimes I think a few modifications will do the trick. Mm-hmm. Now, you started out your home-based business in Osgoode.
Yes.
And that home, I think you were there before you started your business?
Yes, we were.
So really, you didn't buy it with the intent of having a home-based business. So how was that working?
It was interesting because when we moved to Osgoode, I decided to go back to school, up-level my education, and then decide to open my own practice. And, there was a lot of stigma around home-based businesses at that time where it was really frowned upon and not seen professionally. So part of the redesign of our home for me was to help my clients feel that they were in a professional space. That was a bit of a challenge given that we were basically in an 1,100 square foot high story or a high ranch, right?
High ranch, yep.
And so, you came in the front door and you could go up or down and everything was kind of in view. But yet I didn't want to be able to work outside of the home. I still had very young children. And so we needed to look at how I could make it work where I could have this very professional office setting and yet still have my family tucked away and clients coming to the home. So, it didn't take too long to realize that the business had expanded really well and our kids were growing and the space limitations were really preventing me from growing my business further. So, of course, we called the Dekker Team, looking for other options at, where we could move that would not only be great for the family, but also for a business.
Right. And then you moved to South Mountain.
We did.
Downtown South Mountain.
Right downtown.
Yeah.
Right by the post office. And yeah, it was a much larger home. It was a 2-story home. It was an old century home where they'd had a garage, I'll say kind of a garage that was attached to the back of the house that really wasn't functional for any type of vehicles, but it was a perfect spot to create a very separate working space for myself where the family was separate. My clinic was very separate. And, it took some work. It took a lot of work to make that space beautiful because, it was a very old building. And, with lots of friends and family, we were able to make it into quite a lovely space.
No, South Mountain from Osgoode is a bit of a hike.
It is.
What would you say, 20, 30 minutes?
If you're driving the speed limit, yeah, probably 25 to 30 minutes.
Yeah. And did you, for people that maybe have a home-based business now and their house is not suiting their business because their business is expanded or for whatever reason, did your clients follow you?
Yes. And, in the 3 moves that we've made, what's been phenomenal is that my clients track me down wherever I am and that they're happy to follow me. Now, for note that all 3 areas, Osgoode, South Mountain, and where we currently are outside of Winchester, they're kind of in the same geographical location. And so from point A to point B, they weren't necessarily adding more time, maybe 10 minutes here, 10 minutes there. And so I think part of the strategy was, can we keep in the same neck of the woods, so to speak, right? Where it's easily accessible, because we also didn't want to move somewhere that was so backwoods that people couldn't find us, that the streets wouldn't be cared for, and that kind of thing.
Right. So you stayed south of the city, basically, because
Yes.
people tend not to, want to go cross city to go to the east end if they're used to going south, or
Yes.
or go to Canada or something. Although there'll still be diehard clients that will want to follow you, but it's important when you're making a move that you look at geography so that you don't lose a lot of your
Exactly.
client base that you work so hard to build up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's awesome. And then you moved to Chesterville, and well, you call it Winchester. It's kind of between Winchester and
It's
Chesterville.
literally on the line.
and now that was another old home,
Yes.
century home, stone home, right?
Yes.
Yes. Beautiful place.
It's a very beautiful home. And one of the things that's interesting is it's very accessible for people. It's a very direct route. But when I have people come into the property, and also the drive out, I have so many clients tell me, it's so beautiful and peaceful out here. And it actually helps create a sense of wellness, a sense of feeling like they're doing something good. Many clients tell me that they're able to just, let their cares and their worries, their stresses from the day just kind of dissolve on their way out. So that's been very
That's
nice.
powerful. And then you have lots of parking.
Yes.
And now when you originally bought the property, there really wasn't a office
No.
again, right? You've got this vision for what it's going to look like.
Yes.
You're very good at that. And so you had something built in the, what do we call that? The summer kitchen, the back add-on, the shed. I don't know what you call that.
Yeah. And so initially my office was actually in the home, using the actual front door of the home off of the old, what I would say, a men's room, right? The kind of the cigar room, the dark greens, the brown. It was a dark space. But there was this amazing building on the property that was the old summer kitchen workshop that within that first summer, we totally transformed into an amazing oasis that is just spectacular. Completely separate private bathrooms, the parking, everything is separated from the home.
Yeah, you have a separate entrance from even your front or your side entrance of the house. It's another entrance.
Yes.
And did you have to mark that well so that people wouldn't go to the wrong door?
Yeah, actually, I have a sign that's right to the side of the door that has the clinic sign, as well as a huge welcome sign that one of my patients actually lovingly made for me.
Wow.
And then in our directions, I'm pretty clear that when you come into the parking area, you'll see the fully white door to your right. And so I think that making your entranceway stand out as something different from the home is very important when you're looking at a home-based business, because you don't want that mix-up. Not just because you don't want them in your home, because it makes them feel bad. They get nervous and confused.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful. And I was doing research for this and thinking about people starting small, starting somewhere. And I was looking at every business starts somewhere. And Steve Jobs started Apple computers in his bedroom, first of all, in his mom's house in his bedroom. And then later moved into the garage. That was the upgrade for him. Yep. You seem to have done that as well.
Good old garages.
And all on his parents' home and Christ Drive. Yeah. Lisa Nichols, for instance, emptied her walk-in closet, put a desk in there, and that was her first office off of her master bedroom. So if you're thinking about this, you might need to make a sacrifice here or there, but it sounds like it's lots of fun.
Yeah.
So thanks for growing alongside the Dekker team, because we're passionate about helping families thrive in their life, both at home and in business.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.